The term military analyst is not a legally protected term. It's not like doctor. It's more like economist. You know, any asshole can start calling themselves one and fart out a vaguely plausible opinion on the current situation.
If you talk to your parents today, maybe your grandparents, depending on your age, just want to let you know to be a little ginger with them. Be kind. Probably very sad. I have it on this phone. I don't know. I read the articles on the phone because if I read it on the computer, I can't keep my eye on whether or not Cox Communications is actually broadcasting. This is a real big blow to boomers everywhere. FTC finalizes non-compete ban and sets up legal battle over employment agreements. Now, if you're wondering what a non-compete ban is, let me explain it to you youngins out there. A non-compete agreement is where you go and you work for an employer, and they typically say you cannot compete against us outside of work. That's what the word sounds like it means, and it does mean that in its verbal sense. You can't be working for Pfizer as a full-time employee at Pfizer and then go work for Merck on the side. Okay, you can't work for the competition is what they're saying. Sometimes it also includes like after your employment here ends, after either we fire you or you go elsewhere, you can't work in this industry for a certain number of years. And then sometimes some employers are like, all right, you're working for whatever, Goldman Sachs. You can't work for anybody on your free time because we own you, bitch. And if you're starting to get hair up on the back of your neck, like, hey, wait a minute, I can't work for anyone else. I can't have like a side hobby. Let me tell you a story. You want to know the story? Let me tell you a story. Gather round, kids. Uncle Cappy's going to tell you a story. There is a little community bank in the Black Hills in Rapid City. This is 12, 13 years ago. I drive out there. Okay. This is how stupid this shit is. Why boomers all across the world are crying because they can't fuck you over anymore. And in this one regard, don't worry, they got plenty of dicks and strap-ons they're going to fuck you in the ass with anyway. This is one less dildo, a pretty big one. So they're kind of mourning and crying. They're sacrificing, putting this strap-on dildo, they're putting it to giving it a funeral. They're going to bury it. And all the boomers are going to cry and they're going to wear black. Oh, we can't just fuck the younger generations in the ass with this anymore. It was a good dildo. Buy non-compete dildo. I go to this bank. This is pretty much in the depths of the recession, so there wasn't a lot of hiring going on. But this was a startup bank. And they said, oh, we see you're a credit analyst. We need a credit analyst. Come on out. So I drive from Minneapolis to Rapid City, which is across the Plains states. There's nothing there. Not even trees. And this is going to be germane to the topic of conversation. I hit, which was by far the worst weather I've ever driven through, and I've driven through some horrific weather. I have driven through 37 degrees with rain on a motorcycle for 2 hours south of Moab. It was miserable. This in a car was more miserable than that. And what ended up happening is a freak snowstorm popped up. This was April. And it doesn't take a lot of snow in the Plains states to make it hell. Because anywhere else, you got trees or buildings or hills, and the snow will aggregate and get there. I don't think there was more than 5 or 6 inches of snow in the snowstorm, it's some, but not a lot. But it blows over the interstate because there's nothing to stop it. Traffic drives over it. Now you got ice slicks. I had to punch through this snowstorm because they weren't going to pay for a flight, right? Why would they pay for a flight? They're the ones with the job. There were semi trucks in the ditch. You know it's bad when you see cops in the ditch. That's how bad it was. When you see state patrol in the ditch, it's bad. I was able to punch through it. And I am leaving out so much of that fucking story. So much. I didn't pull into Rapid City until 4 a.m. I was tired and exhausted, went to sleep. Got up, had an interview at 8 a.m. Just that, interview standard bullshit. And they said, well, what kind of hobby? I'll probably teach dance classes on the side. Okay, fine. Interview ends. I drive back home. I remember on my way back, I was in St. Pete, Minnesota. Atham, look it up. And I got the text or maybe even the phone call that I got accepted for the job. Great. Get back to Minneapolis, fall asleep. Next day, cocksucker calls me up. We have some concerns. Dude, I'm telling you, boomers deserve all the hate you get. You deserve all the fucking hate you get because you fucking dicked around and strung along and lied to so many generations of people. You deserve all the fucking hate you get. And among other concerns he had, none of which were, one was like, well, you weren't smiling a lot in the interview. Dude, I got 4 hours. Like that shit. It wasn't like, we saw your online activities. That's a concern. That I could understand. No, this was, I wasn't smiling in the interview at 8:30 in the morning. And we're not sure about you teaching dance classes. You're going to be a public figure. I'm like, that's it. Fine. I'm done. I withdraw myself from the position. And then you just heard, it was silent, but also there was silence. Like, yeah, you fucking boomer too close to the sun, you fucking prick dick. I say, no, the pay was shit. It was $40,000 a year, but it was in the thick of the recession. I got to leave my girlfriend again because I worked Wyoming. All because, and you're not going to tell me what to do on my free time. Go fuck yourself. And say, give it to the old guy because there's this old timer that was coming out of retirement. Probably another boomer didn't save his money, got his 18th divorce. Whatever fucking boomers do, I don't know. And he needed the job. I'm like, give it to him. Nope, done. Fucking done. Fuck you. You shove the dildo was too big to shove in my ass. And so that's kind of a non-compete. Not only do we control you when you're here working for us, we will tell you when and where and if you can work in any other capacity outside of work. And as many of you may know, if you're zillennials, millennials, more so Zoomers, when you come out of school with a ton of debt, boomers' fault again, you need it. It really would become helpful to be able to work 2 jobs or part-time to go and pay off your student loans, help get yourself out of debt a little bit. So the wonderful irony and hypocrisy of boomer management is we're going to require an inordinate amount of college education, which you're going to have to go into debt for. And then when you come work for us, we're not going to pay you enough to even live. We're going to require you come to the office. We're not going to pay you anywhere near what's required that you could have a reasonable and sensible commute. So now you got to pay an egregious amount of rent. We're not going to pay you overtime because it's salary. And in a lot of instances, we're going to prevent you working another job. So you absolutely can't get out of debt. We're just going to make it more difficult because we're fucking boomers. That's why. And now it looks like a non-compete agreement has been made illegal. You cannot have a non-compete. FTC finalizes non-compete ban and sets up legal battle over employment agreements. The Federal Trade Commission voted Tuesday to finalize a rule that would ban non-competes across the United States, setting up what is nearly certain to be a contentious legal battle in months to come. Look, you boomers, you corporations could have just stayed. This is where principles and ethics comes in, where you don't ask if you can, you ask if you should. I don't know where the power trip, where the desire to power trip came with these corporations and these boomers. But think about that. What craw was in your hat or bird or whatever that made you say, I don't like the fact this person's going to teach dance classes on the side. I don't like the fact that this guy might try to consult or contract out, do a little moonlighting. I'm not sure I want this woman going and bartending at night or on the weekends. You could have, and people would have been fine, and we wouldn't have had to have the government come in and make a law. Now there's a law. Now you get to go to court. Now you get to spend lots of money on lawyers. You boomer too close to the sun, you motherfuckers. The rule, if allowed to be implemented, would impact 30 million Americans with thousands of businesses, freeing a multitude of workers from existing clauses. The FTC claims the agreements, which limit how and when a worker can find a new job within their industry, are burdensome for workers and stifle economic mobility. Yeah, damn right they are. Good thing it only took until 2024 to get rid of that shit, huh? Business groups contend the agreements are necessary to foster growth and innovation. No, too late. Too late. You went beyond what was good and balanced employer-employee relationships. You went too far. Fuck you. U.S. Chamber of Commerce has vowed an immediate lawsuit, and legal experts say an injunction is likely, which will delay the rule until the courts, even possibly up to the Supreme Court, make a decision on whether the agency has the authority to ban non-competes. Opponents of the ban, including several business groups, have argued it would stifle competition and hurt innovation, among other effects. The new rule would take effect 120 days after its publication in the Federal Register. It would ban all non-competes for all workers going forward and would render unenforceable all non-competes except for those signed by senior executives. Existing non-competes would not need to be formally revoked by employers, the FTC said. The final rule has been a long time in the making, with the FTC first proposing the rule in January of 2023 and ultimately receiving more than 26,000 comments after extending the public comment period. The rule would apply to independent contractors and anyone who works for any employer. Outstanding. Fuck. Here's another thing, by the way. It's just, let's say what don't you like about employers? They don't pay enough. Non-competes. Forced DEI and bigotry and discrimination. It would be nice if the government came in and just banned these things outright. You don't have the time to wait for the government to do that. Just say no. Right off the bat, do you require DEI training? Am I going to have to see any horse shit like that? Well, okay, no, I'm not interested. Deny these people your labor. Well, we need you to sign a non-compete. No, we're not sure about you teaching dance classes. Go fuck yourself. The power really does reside in each individual employee out there in the labor force to simply have standards. No, you don't pay. Corporations don't pay you enough to go. We want you to commute, but we're not going to pay you anywhere near the money required to afford an apartment or a house near where we're going to require you to work. No. You know how you keep, the song girls have been singing to us men forever? No, 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 no. Apply that to employers. And hat tip to the Zoomers and Zillennials and millennials as well. You've been telling employers, no, I'm not working. No, not enough. You haven't paid me enough. No, I'm not getting my degree. No, you're not training me for something in 2 weeks that you're going to require to get a 6-year degree. Fuck off. No. The agency estimates the proposed rule will increase American workers' earnings by $400 billion or more over the next decade, or about $524 per worker per year. Well, it's also ethics. Forget the good economic effects. It's also ethics. You don't have the right to tell people what to do outside of work. Same thing when HR ladies, remember they wanted the username and passwords to your Facebook accounts? What are you posting? Fuck off. That could be a Marxist communist for all you care. It's not your fucking business. While the FTC said the rule did not extend specifically to non-disclosure agreements, it would apply to any NDA broad enough that would effectively preclude a worker from working in the same field as a former employer. It would also apply to a contractual term between an employer and a worker that requires the employee to pay the employer or a third-party entity for training costs. They got it. Where the employee has to pay the employer for training costs. There's a way to tell that you shouldn't be working for that firm. Pay to work here. Fuck off. For training costs, if the worker's employment ends within a certain amount of time where the required payment is not reasonably related to costs incurred for training. The rule exempts non-compete clauses that stem from a person willingly selling a business entity or otherwise disposing of their ownership interest in a business entity, the FTC said, although legal experts have also expressed concerns that the exemption is also too narrow, leaving out smaller owners who should be included in such agreement. The Government Accountability Office estimates 80% of U.S. workers are currently subject to a non-compete agreement. About 38% of workers have been subject to them at some point in their careers. Recent research has bolstered the idea that non-competes drive down worker pay, paperworking booby-boo. States also banning non-compete agreements. Several states have been working to ban non-competes as well. Minnesota recently became the latest state to ban non-compete agreements. Okay, you got it. Good for Minnesota. I don't know any other company's going to go there anyway. But experts agree it's not likely to be the last. The recent effort by New York to pass its own non-compete ban failed after Governor Kathy Hochul refused to sign the legislation, citing its lack of carve-outs for particular high-wage employees and companies, executives at companies. Other agencies are busy finally. That's good news. Good news. I mean, they ain't going to turn the country around, but that's good news. Any news that makes boomers cry. Was it a nice eulogy at the non-compete strap-on dildo funeral, boomers? Was there a nice, we screwed over millions, hundreds of millions of young people. We kept a cap on people forming lives and enjoying life and enriching themselves. Was it a nice eulogy? Let's go to the super chat. Rishu Patel, $5. Gen Z is going into trade schools more than college. Good. I hope y'all, a lot of plumbers and tradesmen, y'all can start building your own homes. It doesn't matter what interest rates are. You're just going to build it. Old school Amish barn raising. Sarku, the five-headed lord of worms, $5. Tail end boomer here. We were lied to as well, and I have the same opinion that you have of my fellow boomers. Intercourse them. It's at a certain age, somebody said this is bullshit. And I'm not talking a terribly old age, but we're talking like at least they're like, no, this is bullshit. No, you can't major in everything you want. No, you can't. And you can see it with parents who just, they know, oh, whatever you want. No one wanted to raise their children. That's it. No one, this whole not spanking, not discipline. We're going to negotiate with our little 4-year-old child and have times outs. Bullshit. You're a lazy sack of shit parent. Oh my God, why is everyone a freaking moron and no one shows up on time and it's all emotional? Sarku, the five-headed lord of worms, another 10 generous dollars. Ignorant boomers thinking they can become a leader by reading books and taking classes on leadership offered by colleges and universities. Intercourse them. What's intercourse? What's that a euphemism for? Something about Minecraft? It goes beyond reading academic books written by people who have no business leadership experience. I don't know what it is. At a certain point, if you get so much power, it's almost like you have to become sadistic and just fuck other people over for no reason. It doesn't do you any good to prevent somebody from working as a bartender at night. It doesn't. It's not your business. It doesn't do you any good or bad to like know what somebody's posting on social media or what religion or political group they belong to. There's no reason for it. But man, did boomers just want to like, why would you require master's degrees just because you can? Why do you set up a training program? Why? And the only answer I could come up with is because you're a sadistic motherfucking fuck. And what's worse is it seems that's all over the place. Once you get to a certain point, you just have to be a sadistic motherfucker. Like that's the default setting on humans. Like the default setting on humans is get fat and unfuckable. So the default setting on humans, I think is evil. I really think it is just plain evil. Be fat, lazy, stupid, and sadistic. Well, holy fucking shit. And then the boomers, I don't know, the economy, no, it's working. We need more social. I don't understand. Wonder why employee turnover shoots up through the roof. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. My current job, I show up, do my work, and the rest of the shift, I'm left alone to do whatever I want. Pretty sweet gig. Sanity and workplace is worth a pay cut. Yep. Going forward, I don't think any person ever again should tolerate corporate bullshit. You promote someone over me when I'm the better employee, setting aside self-interest. Like you look at you're promoting your cousin. Fuck you, I'm out of here. You're not paying me enough to live where you want me to work. Fuck you, I'm out of here. You weren't smiling. Fuck you, I'm out of here. Wisdom Vision Productions, $2. Non-compete, these nuts. Goatee, Gotti. Mark Bodyman, $5. Caliber has started letting illegals in to cut down wages for auto body. So now I'm leaving. What trade should I try? I don't know. Try any one of them. I'm not an expert on trades. Have you looked at chimney cleaning? Those guys make a lot of money. or at least they bill out at a lot of money. Dr. Paradox, $2. Seconded to non-compete these nuts. Non-compete these nuts. All right, there you go. Link below is again linked to all my regular stuff I got going on. The book's on Amazon. My course is on Teachable. What kind of courses do you have, Cappy? How to stop being lazy, the dad you never had, achieving financial excellence. Those are the ones that are open for enrollment. And then link to my Subscribe Star channel, which if you become a member, which is $2 a month, you get access to the pinups and you get access to the archive of the Road Trip podcast. And then my Amazon affiliate link. If you got to buy something, use that link. There you go. See you guys later, Toodles.